I'm getting rid of some of my records, so I just wanted to commemorate them before they go flying off elsewhere. Okay, let's get it started with some city pop classics, because that's what you're really here for. Maybe even the most classics of classics. For you, S tier. That's how we're starting this video. What did I say?
All killer, no filler.
That's this album right here. Ignore a reporter. First of all, you already know who Yamashita Tatsuro is if you're watching this video, so I don't really gotta go into detail there. The king of city pop and his best-selling studio album. That's what this is. Amazing tracks that just make you feel like you're not even surfing the waves, but you're just passing them by as you drive your car along the seaside coastline with a nice, almost purple sunset. There isn't a single track that I can really point out and say, man, this is my favorite one, because they're all genuinely good. It absolutely makes sense why this is his best-selling album, and he really did everything in here, you know. And if For You is driving along the seaside coastline, Big Wave is sunshine hitting your skin while you're surfing on some sick waves in Waikiki. I've never surfed in my life. This is the most Beach Boys he's ever sounded, and that would make absolute sense based on the theme. But every track is what songs should aspire to be on the A side. And the thing is, this is actually my favorite album from Yamashita Tatsuro, even over For You, but the B-sides, man, you're gonna hear that a lot in this video, I'm sorry, but like, man, Magic Waves and Goddess really carry the boat so much. The opening track is just ungodly, or very godly actually, it's holy. And this album, he just puts his full range on display, and also has the best album cover in his discography in my opinion. Like, the colors are beautiful and the art is just so abstract, it just feels good. And when his voice comes in, ooh, top 10 music listening moments in my life, and it's still an A tier. No. Actually, no. This is an S tier album, even above For You, and I'm being honest here, I don't really give high ratings so flippantly, but I was wrong. Like, this is what I was gonna say, but look, each track has such a distinct feel, and each track just has that moment. Like on Umbrella, when you get that sparkly explosion of color from the choir at 45. I've made my executive decision. This is my favorite record in my collection. Style, it's got it. Album cover, ooh. Variety, I guess, yeah, like top of the list, right above some of his other records like Right on Time. Right on Time, the A side has that edge that his other records don't have. Like, it's not a good thing, but also it's not a bad thing, you know, it's simply a thing, especially on tracks like Silent Screamer. But the B sides are pretty decent on this album, but it's just a bit too steepy for my taste. But all of that pales in comparison to the greatest track on this album, the title track, Right on Time. And the whole track is good, but the best part is undoubtedly the ending of the track, the fully a cappella portion with chords that make you want to float in the air. The single track cements this album into the A tier. If only the track could be a single, oh my god, I have Right on Time single version, S tier. But he keeps going with Moonglow. Not gonna lie, there really isn't much else to say. It's just another great album. I wish I had more to say, but that's all I really have to say. Same as any of his other albums. Great A-sides, slightly worse B-sides that's a bit slower and melancholic, but it's starting here that his discography changes. Now we're getting to stuff that's not very good, which is actually a breath of fresh air, which is really funny because the breath of fresh air is music that's not good. Starting with pocket music, C tier. This is where Yamashita Tatsuro's run of taste, records, albums, whatever you want to call it, kind of just dies. Like, he had a great run, man, from 1977 to 1984 with albums like Spacy, Pop in Time, and Go Ahead, and Moonglow, Right on Time, For You, Melodies, Big Wave, and this is where it starts to slow down. Like, come on. This album cover just doesn't have that iconicness like his other albums. The music on this album is just as up to par as his other albums. Kind of. B-sides, I generally think that the album cover just killed his momentum, and for that reason, this is a C tier, which isn't even his lowest album on this list because On the Street Corner goes straight to D tier. This is a fully a cappella album. It's an interesting concept, but I only got this record for 2 reasons. The first one, it's Yamashita Tatsuro. Second, it's said that it was a limited print album. Yeah, a limited print of 100,000. He got me with that. But after listening to it, I probably shouldn't have bought it. I don't even like a cappella. But before getting to my last Yamashita Tatsuro album, let me preface it with this. The first compilation album on my list. And here is my opinion on compilation albums. An amazing compilation album can beat the vast majority of other albums when it comes to preference and just liking it. But an amazing studio album will always beat an amazing compilation album. There's just the magicalness of a studio album and the story that it can tell, and there's also a magicalness that it can capture. It's a product of a specific time and space. It's a singular, concise product. So when it comes to Come Along, as much as I like each individual track more than each individual track on the other albums, I just can't give it a higher score. Except that it's still going in S tier. The king of city pop does what he wants. Oh my god, how does he do it? Because look, this isn't just an amazing album. This is an amazing album. This compilation album feels different than most compilation albums because he didn't just punch it in. He didn't just compile things. There's a charm. There's character to this whole thing. The album makes you feel like you're listening to a radio station, and it just happens to play back to back to back some of the greatest music ever recorded in human civilization. This is the peak of Japanese music. And this is peak album art right here. It also happens to be the rarest record in my collection. And just to put into context how rare or how hard it was for me to find this, I went to a solid like 50 record stores before finally finding this one in a hard off in Hachioji, and it just looks beautiful. This is my favorite album cover in my entire collection. Man, just look at it. Oh, black and white, most of her face covered, only revealing those strong, handsome eyes and just some subtle white lettering. But you know what's just as iconic? That track. 4 AM is an S tier track. The cover is an S tier album cover. The rest of the album, it's trying its best. This album just doesn't have the same firepower like her other album, Sun Shower, which I would give an absolute S tier if I ever found it. So this album is sadly a B tier. Oh no. It could have been so much more. But why did I choose to talk about Taeko Ohnuki first, after finishing Yamashita Tatsuro's section? Well, that's so you keep watching this video, but also because, did you know they used to be in a band together? They only ever released one album, Songs. Songs serve as a progenitor to city pop. It set the foundation for its future sound and motifs, but this album itself is a pretty mixed bag. It's probably one of the reasons that they didn't really last long as a band. Each person wanted to pursue different sounds, but that final track, I really wish they made more songs like that, because it genuinely sounds like they were just having fun and the track just happened to be the byproduct of all of that. But sadly, it's gonna have to go in C tier. And then going to some other projects that Yamashita Tatsuro was a part of, Flapper and Tokyo Special. I actually remember where I bought these records. Flapper was at the hard off at Koenji, and Tokyo Special was at another hard off in the northern part of Shinagawa. But for Flapper, I have never listened to an album that confused me as much as this one. Like, there's so much going on in this album with its genres, instrumentation, range. It just keeps throwing hooks left and right. I don't know what Minako was on when she made this record, but look at the legends on this single album. Again, Tatsuro's here, so is Ohnuki Taeko, Haruomi Hosono, and just a lot of legendary session musicians. Same with Tokyo Special, and I won't lie, I never listened to this record until I started making this video. When I finally put that needle on that groove, I realized, man, I should have been listening to this because it's good. And just look on that cover, she looks dope, man. And actually, for the first time and probably only time, I prefer the B-sides. Yeah, they're slower, which I tend to lean away from, but these really have a nice sonic variety and interesting build-up that doesn't feel redundant. The standout track is Hito wa Sorezore though. It deserves a high B tier. And okay, we're actually done with Yamashita Tatsuro related records, but the city pop records just keep going. First, with perhaps the most famous city pop album, Timely. Again, is it one of the most iconic albums in city pop? Yes. Does it have the unofficial national anthem of Japan, Remember Summer Days? Yes. But that don't mean nothing. It's a C tier. It's just that track, Remember Summer Days, was never on the original album. I know, crazy. If you play this record front to back, you will never hear that song. It was the B-side on the single release of Kanashimi ga Tomaranai. It only got added to the CD releases way later on. But if it were on the original album, this one, it would be a solid middle of the pack album. But the rest of the album has a very 80s sound that I'm just not a huge fan of. Which I would have to say the same about this other famous record, Full Moon, which breaks my heart because look at this cover, man. She looks stunning. I was walking through Book Off near my uncle's place and this record was just there, calling for me. Like, man, look at that suit. She looks like she's about to fight a mouse while conducting the orchestra. The A-side is pretty good, especially when it hits you with that. This is peak city pop. And the other track, I'm not gonna lie, I can't read kanji, so I don't know what that says, but it says something damari no anata. It's such a neck break change in tone, but it's good, it's beautiful. It has that, what's that word they teach you in college? And it's like in literature 101 type thing, you know, the juxtaposition, right? And you know what's the juxtaposition with the rest of the album, with the first two, or I guess the second and third track? Because, what am I saying? The rest of the album is painful, which is also painful to me. The rest of the album is just like, dude, it's not good. It's so bad. Which, again, that hurts because look at that album cover. Look at those track 2 and 3. It goes straight to C tier. And her other album is actually better in my opinion. Lonely Girl, B tier. Does this cover look as good as Full Moon? Nah. I'd argue that it actually looks terrible, but the music is actually pretty good. Like the intro and the second track. Again, can't read that kanji, but Yozora, I don't know, but Yozora no Yaringu. Oh my god, like you feel like you're about to suit up and take on the universe. But why can't she start her albums like this? It's the same as on Full Moon, right? The first track on that one was just straight up bad. And Lonely Girls is just forgettable, but whatever no Bay City and whatever no Yaringu are both track number 2 that deserve to open both albums. And man, I Love You is also pretty good actually. I got this one in a book off in Ikebukuro or something. I don't remember which one, but you know him. The man with the crazy guitars, the coolest man in Japanese music, the king of suaveness, Takanaka Masayoshi, and his album Insatiable High, B tier. Look, I know people are big fans of his music, but I just am not. I like his style. Visually, I like his album covers, especially Takanaka. Those colors are just so vibrant, and that pose and composition is so nice. He really was doing something there. But here, he was still doing something, but just not quite on the same level as his other albums. Not his best cover, not his best music, but not his worst by any means. It's a B tier. Because the B side just isn't as good as the A side, which Weekend Flight to the Sun also falls victim to. Hard. Weekend Flight to the Sun by Toshiki Kadomatsu. I feel like he's pretty underrated in the West, but Japan really loves this guy, which is actually pretty funny because if you look at the credits of this album, most of the people giving credit were people from the US, including arranger Tom Tom 84 and also the horns, the Phoenix Horns Esquire. Both arranged and played for Earth, Wind and Fire. This should have been an amazing album. But the B-side, it just comes again to kill any momentum from the A-side. Like, Friday to Sunday starts so beautiful. Ooh, and so nicely paced. While the chorus comes in to suffocate anything it built up or is trying to build. Like, what is that? What you singing? I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I like his voice either, actually. It's a high B tier album. It's that same record that Yusenke sampled on his album Tokyo Sniper. Great album, by the way. And I also happened to buy this record at my favorite corporate record store, HV Record in Shibuya. There's some cute tracks and moments throughout that match his cover. It's cute, but her singing style is very understated, which is definitely a style and isn't objectively bad. But I personally am not a huge fan of it. B tier. What's actually funny though is that she sounds better when she sings in English, like in the final track, Heart to Heart. But you know who does have a distinct singing style? Yo, I love her unorthodox singing style. Especially on the best track, hands down, Akugare no Sundown. I genuinely love that song. It has a distinct sound, distinct phrasing, distinct tone, distinct lyrics, distinct everything. Even the album cover is beautiful. It has a chrome, full body picture of Haruko with a bright neon pink lettering of her name. It's, oh my god. When I saw this album at Son of Three Sounds in Nagoya, I fell in love. But man, all the other tracks just lack that same inspiration. Like the only other good track is Million Stars, the title track, but everything else just lacks the same captivating aura that Akugare no Sundown has. My heart cries, but it's sadly a C tier. But I say something a little special for the final record of this video. To end this video, I present to you the first ever record in my collection. Pink Ladies Summer Fire 77. And it's going straight to D tier because, man, it sucks. I bought it in a record store in Kyoto called Happy Jack. I even have the plastic bag it came in still because it just looks so bright and energetic and happy and just exudes. But man, the vocals could be better. Because, dude, look, the backing band, they were killing it. God damn, but their vocals just don't stand out. I mean, it could be because it's a live album and they're mainly doing covers of popular English songs, but it's just not an album that stands out. Okay, that's the end. Oh my god. It's kind of top heavy, but I guess that just reflects my immaculate taste in music. But also because I only cover like half my collection, the better half, in my opinion. I got like 20-30 records over there that I have not talked about yet, so that'll be something. I hope to upload more than once every 6 months, but that's because I was trying my hardest to graduate from college, and now I'm finally out. So that means I'm officially unemployed. I know. Thank you. Such an honor. But I hope that this video is enjoyable. I'll make more videos. Well, next video is about the other half of my record collection. So watch out for that. And yeah, that's the end of the video.